To possess redemptive self-love is to esteem and reclaim the unique aesthetic aspects of Black femininity that normative society usually disparages. It is the moral attribute of invisible dignity that allows Black women to turn these supposed aesthetic vices into self-affirming virtues, as expressed in the Black Christian aphorism, "God don't make no junk."
Womanism is a worldview that encompasses gender, class, and racial equality.
S.O.U.L is an Augustana college organization that exemplifies many womanist values.
Well, my name is Ashley Allen, and I am here at the Augustana, the Assistant Director of Student Inclusion and Diversity Office. Right now, I am kind of the program coordinator for S.O.U.L, which stands for Sisterhood of Unique Ladies. So S.O.U.L started with a lot of organizations here on campus, the student groups and organizations. It started by a student seeing a need for S.O.U.L to be established. So that student decided that, there wasn't something specifically for women of color there wasn't something specifically for women of color on our campus, so they decided to create the group, and since then it's been started and has kind of flourished since then. I would say the value, kind of giving you my experience. I am from Iowa, but I went to a predominantly white institution, the University of Iowa, and it was a larger campus, but of course for me, I think at a young age we're always doing kind of soul searching and kind of find our place wherever it is that we go. So having a supportive group for myself like this group on Iowa's campus, it was helpful for me in my journey as a student on a college campus, especially away from my family, having that community. So I really think it's important to have something like S.O.U.L here at Augustana, because it creates an environment where women of color can come together to talk about things that relate to them. Sometimes in the classroom or in social aspect, they're not maybe given that space to talk about issues that impact them. So this is just another positive way that they can talk about issues and be around people that know of their experiences and come from the same background. And it's also another way to kind of uplift one another as well.
So S.O.U.L is a very positive group here on campus. I feel very secure, like it feels like a safe space for us women of color, and just talking about our struggles and knowing that other people are facing them makes me feel less alone. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. I had my good friends, so I wasn't alone, but it was also, they are very different from me, and they didn't really struggle the same way I struggled, whereas here in S.O.U.L I can find girls like me who are struggling, and we can talk about our struggles and connect through that. So I use that as a strength that I can't get from my group of friends.
It's really empowering to see people of color, especially because I'm a person of color, to be doing big things in education or even in fields that I want to work in.
I feel like I have a sisterhood in S.O.U.L, and I can relate to the different girls in S.O.U.L, and we go through the same thing, so we can just talk with each other and be there for each other.
What surprised me the most is how deep the girls can get. Yesterday when we had our meeting, some of them already started crying, and I was just wow, these girls are really pouring their soul. It's not like I wasn't pouring my soul into it, it's just that seeing it, actually seeing it and experiencing it, it's just wow, I can truly feel welcome and like myself here.
I don't know if it's a stigma, but I could feel how somebody that may not be a person of color may ask the question, why can't I come to a group like this? And it's not a way to separate or segregate women of color from another person, but it's just really, again, we're creating an inclusive environment or community to fit a certain need for a student. A lot of times we don't know what a person is going through, and having something like S.O.U.L is just another, I don't want to say coping mechanism, but it's just a way where they can come together and talk about issues that, you know, sometimes may not be talked about in the classroom because it doesn't meet their specific need. And just like any other group on campus, there's different groups on campus that serve a certain need. So this is another part of a need for a group of people. What I wish people would know, number one, which we've kind of touched upon, it's never a group to exclude a group of people, but it's really a way to uplift, also to educate and to empower women of color. And we do events, we do activities as well. So I know one thing that I'm doing this year is really implementing the Quad City community. And what I'm bringing is the speakers, and I'm being really intentional about that, is bringing in speakers, professional women of color on campus, number one, so they can connect with the Quad City community, but also where they can see themselves in the future, know that they can be successful as a teacher, as a doctor, whatever profession it is that they're going into. Because, you know, sometimes it is kind of harder to see people of color in like those successful roles, and so my job is to really intentionally put people in front of them, so that they can envision themselves and say, after Augustana, you know, I can do that, I can be that as well. Again, another way to kind of empower them as well.
I wish people knew that it's open to everyone, you know, and just because it's people of color doesn't mean that it's only for people of color. I feel like people who want to get better ideas and not better ideas, they want to be more mindful, they want to understand people more, they should definitely go, because it's like, just because you're not a person of color doesn't mean that you don't have your own struggles, and it doesn't mean that we cannot relate or connect in some type of way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The values, I would say number one, to be comfortable in your own skin, be comfortable in who you are, no matter the messages that you may see in front of you. I think, you know, overall, I know we sometimes struggle in who we are, regardless of, or because of the background that we come from, or the places or the environments that we come from, but just really just embracing who you are as a person and being comfortable in any setting that you're in, and to know that you can be successful, that you can excel no matter who you are as a person or the things that you've been born into.
So S.O.U.L is definitely self-love, because it's saying Sisterhood of Unique Ladies. Mm-hmm. Like that, the title itself is just saying you are unique, you know, you should love yourself because there is no one else like you. And then S.O.U.L, like it's a soul, it's like our soul, and we're all connecting on a very deep level, and we all just help each other, and we all understand that everyone's different, but we're gonna help each other out, you know. Through our differences, we're gonna find similarities, and we're gonna be there for each other, and that's something that S.O.U.L is like so awesome about.
With both S.O.U.L and PACE, they both kind of embrace to love who you are and where you come from, regardless of what situation you're in, and regardless of if you're not the same as everybody else, to keep doing and pursuing what you want to do and to succeed in your own way.
S.O.U.L has like changed my way of thinking, if that makes sense. I feel like my eyes are open to things about myself and my surroundings. So for example, the last meeting we were talking about sorry not sorry, and just being a person of color unapologetically, and learning how to be unapologetically a person of color. And that kind of opened my eyes about the type of person I was and how I was viewing my race or my culture in a way, if that makes sense. So I would say like S.O.U.L has forced me to open my eyes about like a lot of things.